Truth or dare, I lost. The forfeit was a 1-minute hug with any guy in the room. Every head swiveled toward Chase, including his own. He hooked the faintest smirk, certainty shining in his eyes. But I rotated my wrist and aimed my finger at the man wedged in the corner, the one practically wearing a neon keep away sign. He'll do. On the surface he was polar ice, brows locked, disgust flickering across his face. Yet his inner voice scrolled across my mind like a bullet screen. So soft, her waist is tiny, she smells amazing. Can't take it, wanna kiss her, what do I do? I swallowed a giggle and burrowed a little deeper into his chest. The private booth throbbed against my skull. Wall-thudding music, disco lights, bleeding neon, and enough hormones to stock a lab. The spin the bottle completed its third rotation, neck pointing dead at me. Serena. Truth or dare? I massaged my temples and picked the latter, dare. The cheers redoubled. Across the low table sat Chase, campus king, star quarterback, and my supposed longtime crush, eyebrow cocked in triumph. That unfairly perfect face wore naked victory. He knew whatever challenge came, if it involved me, it would boomerang straight to him. After all, everyone knew Serena adored Chase, adored him to the point of campus legend. I'd once jogged from Southside at dawn, bought his favorite soy milk and cruller breakfast, and couriered it to his Northgate dorm. I'd been first on the sideline with water and a towel every single practice. The day he murmured, "Long hair is my thing," I'd canceled 3 salon trims and spent 3 years growing mine out. To the student body, I was the ultimate loyal hound. Maya, self-appointed dare queen, didn't disappoint. She slid a gaze between Chase and me and Taylor Ed in a sing-song, "Pick any guy here, hug him for 60 seconds. The instant the words left her lips, laser eyes zeroed on Chase. He tilted a lazy grin, arms already unfolding, ready for me to dive in. Laughter erupted. "Go, Serena, freebie round. Chi-Chi's waiting, why freeze? 60 seconds enough, want us to hold you down for overtime?" I didn't move. I looked past that confident face to the murkiest corner of the booth. There he sat. Pierce. Another Westbridge celebrity, not for charm, but for the don't approach aura that clung to him like smoke. Riley lineage, temperament just as dark, an aloof storm in human skin. He occupied the leather sofa alone, cigarette glowing carnation red between his fingers, ash pulsing with each disinterested breath. He hadn't bothered glancing at our circus, lid stayed half-mast. I felt a grin bloom. Under every urgent stare, I rose and walked straight past Chase. I felt the moment his smile cracked, the whoops choked to silence. I crossed to the corner and stopped in front of Pierce. At last he reacted, lifting his face. Through drifting smoke his eyes were glacial, annoyance sketched tight at their edges. I met them, extended one finger and tapped his direction. Then I pivoted toward the stunned crowd and enunciated him. Dylan froze. Everyone gaped, Chase included. Pierce's brows only drew tighter. Ignoring them, I inhaled, bent, and wrapped my arms around him. The man was poured concrete, every muscle locked. Through the thin shirt drifted crisp tobacco laced with something cleaner, laundry soap, maybe cedar-pleasant. The instant I made contact, a male voice, equal parts shock and irritation, detonated inside my skull. "Shit, she's hugging me?" I froze. That timber Pierce's, but his mouth stayed sealed, jaw rigid. "What the hell? Doesn't she like Chase? Back off, girl." More commentary scrolled, grouchy and impatient. Confirmed, I was tuned to Pierce's raw thoughts. Since when did I own this cheat code? I buried my shock against his shoulder, pretending shyness. The human slab remained unmoved. "Why hasn't she let go? What is that scent, actually nice?" Tone shift detected. I secretly curved my lips. "Hair so soft tickles my neck. That waist tiny enough to circle with one hand. Damn, what am I thinking?" The voice veered chaotic, threaded with fluster he'd never voice aloud. I smothered a laugh and deliberately brushed closer, his frame jolted. "She moved again on purpose? Fuck, my heart, can't let them notice." That heart slammed against his ribs so hard I felt it through the cotton. So the iceberg concealed an active volcano. "Minutes up," someone shouted, hacking the hush. I released him at once, stepped back, gaze lowered. "Jamie," I murmured, aping his usual chill, then scurried to my seat like a startled deer. The brand on my back was his stare, hot and fixed. I returned, drained my cup in one go, trying to cage my own pulse, to wild. Mind reading, are you kidding? A custom power-up. The booth's air had shifted. Chase's expression was thunderhead black, eyes drilling holes of accusation into me. In the corner, Pierce still radiated frost, yet inside, what does she mean by that? Hug and run. Am I a joke now? But that hug was soft. I pretended to scroll my phone, cheeks aching from smiling. Game went on. I was checked out. All I could replay were Pierce's contradictory mutters, heart racing, curiosity screaming. Face still bored. Delicious. When the party finally dissolved, it was nearly midnight. I said my goodbyes and ambled alone toward the gate. Half a block from the karaoke bar, an iron grip closed around my arm. Chase. Alcohol burned on his breath, eyes blood-webbed. Serena, what the hell was that? He hissed. You embarrassed me on purpose? I tried to jerk free, failed. It's just a game, don't milk it, I answered, recycling the line I'd rehearsed. Game? He laughed cold. You chased me 2 years and now call it a game? He yanked me under a street lamp, crowding my space. Think you're so special I can't quit you? That you can play hard to get? Looking at the face I once worshipped, I felt only absurdity. True, the campus thought Serena would die for Chase. They didn't know that 2 years ago, the night Adrian's drunk driving crash killed him, Chase had appeared like a band-aid for my grief. He resembled my brother. So I'd chased his shadow, grafting Adrian's absence onto him, but stand-ins stay stand-ins. I was bored. Chase, I'm not yanking your chain, I said evenly. I never liked you. His features solidified into stone. What did you say? I don't like you, I repeated, syllables sharp. Didn't, don't, won't. At that instant a tall silhouette passed. Pierce, he didn't glance over, just strode ahead, stranger cold. Yet I caught the internal uproar. Chase is screaming at her? Who gave him the right? Why are her eyes glassy? She gonna cry? Damn, I wanna punch something. As Pierce neared the corner I raised my voice, letting it wobble. Let go. Chase, you're hurting me. Pierce's step hitched for half a beat. He's hurting her, trash. Should I step in? Nah, none of my business. Full soap opera duel inside his head. In the end he kept walking, pace faster. I watched him disappear, zero disappointment. The show was riveting enough. Chase, sucker punched by my declaration, remained stunned. I wrenched free and sprinted off, back in Whitman Hall. Teeth brushed, mask on, I slid under the covers. My phone buzzed. Unknown number, home? No name, temperature sub-zero, but I knew who. I stared at the screen 1 whole minute, then tossed the phone away unanswered. You want a game? Fine, slow edition. Next morning, Saturday, no alarms. I woke at leisure. Only then did I notice the same number had followed up at 1 a.m. with a lonely question mark. I could picture him on the other end, irritation flickering when no reply came. I dawdled through washing up and dressing, then answered to words. Who's this? Message sent, phone dropped into my bag, and I headed to the Athenaeum. Sure enough, by the reading room window sat that familiar silhouette. Pierce. Today he traded his usual sharp edges for a plain white cotton tee and gold-rimmed glasses. The rebellious aura was dialed down, replaced by something that screamed dangerous honor roll heartbreaker. Head bent, he was reading a thick dog-eared edition in German I couldn't decipher. Sunlight poured through the window and glazed his profile until it looked sculpted. I crossed the room and slid into the seat opposite him. He didn't seem to notice. Still lost in his own world, yet his every thought blasted through my skull loud and clear. Still no reply. Did she die? What the hell did she mean last night? Did she send it to the wrong person? No way. Damn it, I can't even read. He snapped the book shut so hard half the Athenaeum flinched. Raking a hand through his hair, he yanked out his phone like it had personally insulted him. Just then I slid my own phone across the table, screen up, landing perfectly between us. The chat window showed our last thread. Excuse me, I said, manufactured hesitation in my voice. Did you send this text? Pierce's whole frame locked up. Slowly he lifted his head. Eyes sharp as scalpels behind the lenses. If looks could kill, I'd already be a ghost. Inside, his mental subtitles exploded. She found out. How does she know it's me? The hell she's asking me. What's her game? Pretending we're strangers. Find out. Great. He let half a minute rot away before he finally graded out to syllables. Nope. Then he scooped up the book and bolted, moving so fast it looked like flight. I watched his retreat, collapsed onto the table and shook with silent laughter. Adorable, this iceberg was even more innocent than I'd guessed. For the next few days I executed Operation Coincidence. Monday dawn, I materialized at Brew, the cafe he haunted for breakfast. He wore tailored black track gear, waiting for his order. I stepped in line right behind him. Why is she here? On purpose? White sundress actually looks cute. I studied the menu like it held the secrets of the universe. A latte, Jamie, I murmured when it was my turn. She drinks lattes too, coincidence? Coffee in hand, I pivoted and accidentally sloshed scalding foam onto his knuckles. Oh my god, sorry. I flapped, pulling tissues from my bag, reaching for his hand. My fingertips brushed his skin, burning hot. He jerked away like I'd electrocuted him. Shit. She touched me. So soft, why is my face on fire? His ears were crimson, but the mask stayed ice. No problem. He dropped the words and fled without the drink he'd paid for. I floated through the morning, humming Rowan meant gen ed lecture. Film appreciation is famously easy, attendance is sparse. I chose the rear corner. Moments later the seat beside me filled. Pierce, since when did he take blow-off classes? Surprise zipped through me. But I kept it off my face. She's here too? This class is death. Why come? This close, I can smell her. Same scent as the other day. I bit back a grin, flipped open a notebook and feigned fascination. On screen, a black and white art house relic crawled along, tranquilizing everyone. I propped my chin, gaze glued to the frame. Pierce's attention disintegrated. Her profile's actually pretty. Long lashes. Fair skin. That neck, stop it, idiot. The stare felt like sunlight focused through a magnifying glass. I turned casually and caught him mid-glance, freeze frame. His mental feed went radio silent. After 2 heartbeats, he whipped back toward the movie, ears flaming. She saw me. She thinks I'm a creep. Of course she does. Kill me now. I ducked behind my notebook to hide the grin splitting my face. Teasing at Sundeer Hottie, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Morgan arrived, my roommates pitched lock and key escape rooms. I shrugged until the whisper, Chase is bringing his crew. I signed up instantly. Outside the venue, Chase hovered with his entourage, Pierce loitering at the fringe, visibly fed up. Chase caught sight of me and stalked over. Serena, you seriously don't like me anymore? He still couldn't absorb rejection. Before I answered, Pierce's thoughts leaked through. Here we go again, pathetic. Didn't she already dump him? I bypassed Chase, stopping in front of Pierce. Hey. I smiled. He blinked, gaze skittering. Hey. She said hi to me? Her smile's sweet. Wait, is she smiling at that loser? Reading him, I glanced back. Chase glared daggers. Aw. Pierce thought the smile was collateral damage meant for Chase. I sighed inwardly, outwardly calm. It's horror-themed. You scared? I whispered, breath grazing his ear. His whole body locked. Why so close? Her breath's on my ear. Damn, she asking if I'm afraid? Me, no way. He cleared his throat. Not at all, good. I tipped my head. If anything jumps out, you'll protect me, right? I finished with a playful wink and stepped into the lobby, leaving him petrified. She wants me to protect her? That was flirting shit. I'm toast. Inside, strobes flickered, speakers snarled, actors shrieked. Girls screamed and clung to whoever was nearest. Chase tried to hover, I sidestepped every time. I kept Pierce in my sights, tailing him at a calculated half stride. He marched fast then slowed at each corner. She's still back there? Walks like a turtle. Whatever, I'll wait. When the game split us into pairs, I glued myself to Pierce. Chase's scowl could have curdled milk. Our mini-team was shoved into a cramped prop bedroom. Find the key, escape. Only a sputtering bulb lit the space. I clutched the tail of his shirt, trembling. He stiffened but didn't swat me away. She's grabbing my shirt, firm grip. Let her. We ransacked drawers. I unearthed a slip of paper tucked in a false bottom. Before I could read it, a bedraggled ghost launched from beneath the cot, shrieking straight at me. Odd instinct threw me into Pierce's arms. This time he didn't flinch. His arms snapped around me like steel cables, hauling me against his chest, rock hard and warm. His heart pounded against my cheek, steady, frantic. Holy shit, that was loud. Why am I shaking? Girls vibrating like a phone. Such a scaredy cat. Kinda cute. Mission accomplished. The actor slithered away, silence resettled. I stayed put. Pierce rasped, it's gone. My legs gave out. I mumbled into his shirt, faking a quiver, acting 101. Legs stopped working? That fragile? She's still hugging me. Smells amazing. I don't want to let go. What now? His embrace tightened almost imperceptibly. We clung in the flickering dark until teammates banged on the door. I peeled myself away, cheeks flaming. Jamie, I whispered. No problem. His voice was sandpaper. Once we escaped, he kept a careful 2-foot radius, spine ramrod straight to an aloof pine tree. Inside, the guy was broadband chaos. Was that staged? Definitely staged. Crafty little, yet here I am, totally hooked. Our squad finished first. Everyone regrouped outside, planning victory dinner. Chase stepped in front of me again. This time his expression was dead serious. Serena, we need to talk. I was about to refuse when Pierce's voice rang in my head. Talk my ass. What's there to talk about? If she dares go with him, then what? I waited, curious. Then I'll turn around and walk away. Pathetic. While I hesitated, Chase must have assumed I wouldn't turn him down with so many eyes on us. He actually reached out to grab my wrist. I took a reflexive step back and avoided him. Still, his fingers brushed my sleeve. The next second, a long, bony hand sliced through the air and locked around Chase's wrist. Pierce. He'd materialized at my side without my noticing. He stared at Chase, face blank, eyes glaciers. She doesn't want to. Quiet words, but they cracked like a whip. Silence detonated. Everyone froze, mouths half open. Chase stared at Pierce, then at me, disbelief all over his face. Pierce, what the hell? This isn't your business. Pierce said nothing, only tightened his grip. Chase hissed in pain. He touched her? Dead man. My girl, and he thinks he can lay a hand on her? The contrast between his internal CEO-style proclamation and his Arctic mask was so ridiculous I almost laughed out loud. Let go. Chase yanked, face flushing crimson. Pierce ignored him, gaze icy. The tension was one spark away from fists. I jumped between them. Enough, we're classmates. I tugged Pierce's sleeve. Let's eat, I'm starving. At my words, Pierce slowly released Chase. He flicked him a look dripping warning and contempt, then turned to me. His dark eyes were a storm of unreadable emotions. She's rescuing me? Or protecting Chase? She said she's hungry. So, food? I smiled up at him, come on. He gave a curt nod and walked off. I followed. We left Chase and the crowd standing in a whirl of gossip. On the way to the commons, we walked single file, silent. Not awkward for me. Pierce's mental monologue was pure entertainment. She tugged my sleeve again. Second time. She into me? Has to be. Why else mess with me? Unless I'm imagining it. If she does this to everyone, no way. Only me, she'd better. I trailed behind, cheeks aching from suppressed laughter. We reached the commons, everyone grabbed seats. I slid into the chair beside Pierce on purpose. He went rigid, then inched away, trying to widen the gap. Damn, she's right next to me. Panicking. Say something? Ask what she wants to eat? Too obvious. I picked up a menu and pretended to study it. What do you feel like? I asked. He blinked, clearly hadn't expected me to start the conversation. Whatever. 2 beats later he added, you order. Shit, did I sound too cold? She'll think I'm blowing her off. I didn't mean it. Idiot, Pierce. I pushed the menu toward him. Let's decide together. I don't know what you like. My fingertips accidentally brushed his, burning heat. He yanked his hand back as if I were radioactive. Anything, he practically growled, then drained his water glass, refill after refill, to hide his nerves. The meal was wordless on the outside. Inside my skull, Pierce narrated a full soap opera. Why isn't she talking? Did I upset her? Should I apologize? Finally he landed on. I'll walk her back to Whitman after this. Done. When everyone dispersed, I loitered, drifting slowly toward the dorm. Sure enough, measured footsteps shadowed me. I didn't need to look, I knew it was Pierce. Following her now. Say something? Hey, feels lame. Pretend it's on the way. To fake offer to escort her to forward. Hearing him tie himself in knots almost made me laugh. We were almost at Whitman and he still hadn't chosen an opener, so I stopped and turned. Why are you tailing me? I asked, innocence on full blast. Under the street lamp his shadow stretched long. He froze, mouth half open, his ears flamed red. Damn, busted. Do I look like a stalker? My reputation is toast. Finally he croaked, I'm going the same way. Terrible. Lie. Easton and Whitman sit on opposite ends of campus. I let it slide. Oh, well, I'm here, good night. I pivoted toward the door. Wait. He lunged, catching my wrist, warm, dry skin, faint calluses, gentle but inescapable. My heart hiccuped. Shit, I grabbed her. Her hand is so soft, so small, don't want to let go. His breathing roughened. I met his ink black eyes, emotion swirled in them like spilled paint. Something else? I kept my tone calm. He swallowed, wrestled with words, then rasped. Do you hate me? I gaped. Of all possibilities, that one hadn't crossed my mind. She must hate me. I'm cold, rude. I scared her today, but I don't want her to hate me. The vulnerability in his gaze melted me. I turned my hand under his and interlaced our fingers. I don't hate you, I said softly. Never have. Pierce turned to stone, staring at our joined hands, then his mind erupted. She held my hand, voluntarily? She said she doesn't hate me. Dreaming? Sweat beaded his palm. I squeezed, fighting a smile. Don't believe me? I tilted my head. Let me prove it. I tugged him toward the hollow behind Whitman, the campus makeout grove, empty at this hour. He stumbled after me, brain blue screamed. Where are we going? The hollow? What's she planning? Do I need protection? Not ready. Under a big oak I let go and put a polite foot of air between us. Pierce, I said, locking onto his eyes. Yeah? He rasped. Do you think I like Chase? Silence admission. Doesn't everyone? I smiled, shook my head. I've never liked him. I hung around him because he reminds me of someone I lost, someone important. Pierce's pupils dilated. Adrian, 2 years ago, the accident, so he knew. I stepped closer. But I'm done using him as a stand-in. Because I've found someone more interesting. I lifted my gaze to his, my reflection filling those dark pools. Warm breath tangled together, the air turned instantly murky with ambiguity. Pierce's breathing completely lost its rhythm. Someone more interesting. Is it me? She's talking about me. Is she confessing? Shit. How do I answer? Say yes, right now, immediately. Cameron, watching him overheat like a CPU about to melt. I couldn't help lifting a hand and brushing his cheek. His skin burned. So, my voice carries a teasing lilt. Are you willing to let me get to know you? I didn't say be my boyfriend. I chose the word no. Advance or retreat, both options stay open. I hand the choice to him, clean and simple. Pierce's Adam's apple jerks sharply. He stares at me for a long beat. Just when I think he's going to refuse, a single syllable crawls out of his throat, okay. That okay is light as a feather, yet it slams into my heart like a brick. Done. I gaze at his handsome face, flushed from nerves and thrill, and feel like setting off fireworks. He said yes, the iceberg I've coveted for so long is finally melting. She's still touching my face, so soft, she's so close, I can smell her perfume, wants to kiss her. The thought startles Pierce himself. He jerks back a step, widening the gap as though I'm some man-eating demon. Fuck, what am I thinking? We just started, to savage, his conflicted, utterly innocent look almost makes me laugh. Then I play dumb and tilt my head. What exactly are we now? The question stumps him. He opens his mouth, starts we 3 times and produces nothing. What relationship? She said she wants to know me and I agreed. So we're in a getting to know you relationship. What does that even mean? Friends? No. Definitely not friends. Then a boyfriend? Crap, isn't that moving too fast? Watching his brows knot. I toss him a lifeline. Let's call it a trial run relationship, I say, smiling. You're on probationary period, perform poorly and you're out. Probationary period? Pierce repeats, dazed. There's an evaluation phase. Feels like a job interview. How do I impress her? Be nice. Nice how? Breakfast runs, gifts, to cliche. He sinks into deep thought, apparently mapping his path to full-time, and the sight is adorable. All right, it's late. I should head back, I wave. See you tomorrow, probationary boyfriend. I turn and leave before he can answer. Back in Whitman Hall, I roll across my bed twice, giddy. Telepathy is the ultimate cheat code for romance. Pierce's tiny thoughts have nowhere to hide. I pick up my phone, open the unknown number, and change the contact name to Pure and Aloof Hottie. The screen buzzes the instant I finish. Pure and Aloof Hottie, I'll pick you up tomorrow morning. Still the same crisp, iceberg tone. But I can already picture the emotional fireworks behind it. I reply with one word, sure. Then I set the phone down and sleep. Next morning, I deliberately sleep in. I take my time with light makeup and slip into a new sundress before drifting downstairs. Sure enough, Pierce is already there, leaning against a big tree in a white cotton tee and black jeans, tall and cut, drawing glances from every girl who passes. He looks like he's waited a while, yet there's no impatience on his face. The moment he spots me, his eyes light up. She's here, blue dress today, so damn beautiful. Likes a siren, luring me in. I stop in front of him and ask on purpose. Have you been waiting long? No, he answers at once, voice stiff. Just arrived. Lied, 30 minutes. Legs are numb, worth it, though. I hide a grin. Then let's go breakfast. Okay. Double quotes side by side, we head toward the commons, spotlighted by countless stares. After all, Pierce never appears with any girl. Now he's walking with the very one who publicly dumped Campus King Chase last week. The information overload is nuclear. I can feel the gazes sweeping over us like searchlights. Pierce notices too, his brows pinch, shoulders tense. Everyone's staring, annoying. Will she mind? Should I? He hesitates, so I simply reach out and weave my fingers through his. Pierce jolts. He drops his gaze to our joined hands, lifts it back to me. Shock and wild joy colliding in his eyes. She's holding my hand, in front of everyone. She's not afraid to be seen. Is she claiming me? Damn, I love it. His inner fireworks explode in my head. The tension drains out of him. He practically floats. Look all you want. Go ahead, stare. She's my girlfriend. Trial run still counts. Die of envy. I laugh under my breath. Lays our fingers tighter. His palm scorches. Let's go, I say, There's a tiny, almost invisible smile in that syllable. This time he strides with chin high or a crank to max, as if announcing to the planet that the girl beside him is his. Inside the commons, he volunteers to queue for breakfast. What does she like? Soy milk sticks. That's what that idiot Chase got her. Can't copy. Then what? Xiaolongbao? Sticky rice chicken? Grab a bit of everything. Moments later he returns balancing a tray piled like a small mountain. Soy milk, oat milk, dumplings, shumai, sticky rice chicken, the works. Didn't know what you like, so I bought it all, he mutters. My chest warms. This chilly looking guy is actually more thoughtful than anyone, Jamie. I pick up a dumpling and bite. I like everything. His eyes spark again. She said everything. Perfect. Buying it all again tomorrow. We're halfway through when an uninvited guest sets his tray down across from us. Chase, his face is pale, eyes fixed on our linked hands. Serena, he rasps, you're really with him? Before I speak, irritation blazes through Pierce. Obvious much, blind, see the hand holding, his grip tightens in silent declaration. I lift my gaze and answer calmly, yes. Chase's face drains of color, he looks demolished, lips trembling, unable to form words. Why? He finally whispers. What does he have that I don't? I'm still framing an answer when Pierce's internal monologue scrolls by. Everything, better looking, richer family, treats her better, you were just a stand-in. Got it, loser? Not a word leaves his mouth, yet the contempt hits full force. I sigh, opting for swift mercy. Chase, feelings aren't a comparison. I don't like you, that's unrelated to anyone else. I was immature before, sorry for the trouble. From now on, let's just be classmates. I stand and tug Pierce up. Let's go. He obeys at once, shielding me as we exit, never sparing Chase a glance. That innate disregard cuts deeper than any insult. After that comments go in public, our status becomes an open secret campus-wide. Wherever we walk, spotlights follow, and Pierce seems to relish it. He picks me up every morning, escorts me to lectures, to meals, back to Whitman. The model boyfriend, only without many words. Inside his head, though, the commentary grows livelier each day. When strong will she be cold in that skirt? Phys ed this afternoon, should I get her excused? That coach is insane, always the time to lap. She has zero stamina, no way she finishes. Fine, I'll run it with her. Avery, that afternoon, the entire class gapes as the guy who never bothers with phys ed voluntarily steps onto the track and jogs beside the slowest runner, me steady and relaxed, while I pant like a dying pooch. At the finish I collapse straight into his arms. I can't, I wheezed, I'm dying. He held me steady, brows whereupon tight. Shit, why's her face so white? Her lips don't even have any color. It's that psycho coach's fault. The second I get back I'll have dad by this entire school. And fire that guy first. His over-the-top CEO inner monologue almost made me laugh myself into another cramp. He helped me to the nearby rest bench, then turned and strode off. Moments later he was back with a bottle of water and an energy gel. He twisted the cap off and lifted it to my lips. Drink. I obediently took a few sips and felt the world steady. Why are you carrying energy gel? I asked, curious. His gaze slid away. Just grabbed it. Like hell. Went to CVS last night specifically for it. Was scared you'd crash from low blood sugar today? Also bought ginger tea packets at the little store under Whitman Hall and left them with your Ra. Hope she actually gave them to you. So the bag the Ra handed me this morning was from him. I'd figured it was some secret admirer and shoved it at my roommate. Warmth flooded my chest. This man, always like this, quietly doing 100 things, refusing to say a single word out loud. If I couldn't hear his thoughts, I'd probably never know how much he's done for me. I looked at him, leaned in, and brushed a kiss to his cheek lightning quick. There and gone, Pierce turned to stone. His eyes went wide, staring at me like he'd been struck by lightning. She kissed me. She kissed me, she kissed me, she kissed me. My face. The spot she kissed is burning. What do? I'm not washing my face tonight. No, never washing it again for the rest of my life. His inner voice sounded like 10,000 shrieking prairie dogs. My skull vibrated. Looking at his dumbstruck expression, I burst out laughing. A reward, I said, still no reaction, just that dazed stare. Those gorgeous eyes of his were filled with starlight, as if he'd suddenly come to own the entire world. Our relationship was heating at light speed. Pierce's probationary period was almost up. He grew clingier by the day. On the surface he stayed cool, but the instant I appeared his gaze locked on and never wandered. His inner commentary had shifted from pure first love fluster to something spicier. She wore a sundress today, those collarbones, I kinda wanna bite. Damn, I'm such an animal. Another afternoon we were in the Athenaeum. I'd fallen asleep on the table. Asleep just like a cat. Such long lashes, her lips look soft, wanna kiss. Just one, she'll never notice, right? Then I felt a warm, trembling touch feather across my mouth lighter than air. I pretended to stir and blinked awake in a daze. Pierce sat bolt upright, book in hand, pretending to read. But his crimson ear tips and the jackhammer in his chest sold him out completely. She caught me, she caught me, she caught me. She's awake. Is she gonna hit me? Definitely. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. Watching him brace for martyrdom, I buried my face in my arms and shook with laughter. Idiot, adorably so. Morgan evening, Pierce invited me to a movie, a brand new romance. The theater was packed with couples. We took the back row, armed with buttered popcorn and cherry. The film was sugary, every kiss had girls squealing. Pierce couldn't care less. His mind was 100% on me. Movie's lame. Not half as pretty as she is. Her hand, wanna hold it. He hesitated forever, then finally inched his hand over and gently closed his fingers round mine, palm slick with nervous sweat. Got it, so soft. Never letting go. Halfway through, the leads crashed into a long, deep, hungry kiss. The atmosphere in the theater turned liquid. His pulse spiked so hard I felt it in our joined hands. They're kissing. I want to, now? No, she'll think I'm a creep. But damn, I want to. His mental tug-of-war was more entertaining than the film. I tilted my head, studied the tight line of his jaw and those glittering eyes in the dark. Then leaned to his ear. If you want to kiss me, just do it, don't suffocate. Pierce went rigid. He whipped his gaze to me. Shock and a flicker of exposed panic swimming in his eyes. I pressed a fingertip to his lips, SHH. Smiling wickedly, I whispered, your thoughts are deafening. Dylan seemed to freeze. Pierce stared like a wind-worn statue, brain short-circuiting. Silence utter blank inside his head. Then, after an eternity or maybe a heartbeat, his mind rebooted and a torrent exploded through my skull. What did she say? My thoughts. Too loud. What does that mean? She can hear them? Since when? The first time we met in the KTV corner when she hugged me, fuck. All the filthy stuff I've imagined, she's heard everything? Her waist, her legs, wanting to kiss her, and worse, in seconds his handsome face cycled through shock, horror, despair, and finally lifeless ash. The spectacle was priceless. I couldn't hold it and I snorted with laughter. His voice quavered. You know everything? MMHMM. I nodded, grinning like the cat who stole the canary. Started the night we first met, when I hugged you in the karaoke room. Pierce flushed scarlet from ears to collar. He spun away, burying his face in his hands, shoulders shaking. No face to show anymore. Socially dead. Should I jump off the roof now or later? She definitely thinks I'm a perv. A walking hormone. It's over, she's dumping me. My probation failed. Seeing him on the verge of tears, I felt a tug of tenderness. I slipped from my seat and hugged him from behind. Hey, I murmured, chin on his shoulder. I haven't signed your full-time contract yet. Where do you think you're running off to? He went stiff. Time not, his muffled voice cracked. Not what? I teased. Not a perv who keeps a running X-rated monologue. Stiffer. She really has heard it all. Done for. I swallowed a giggle and said, listen up, Pierce. I do think you're a pervert. But I let the word hang, then breathed against his ear. I happen to like perverts. With that I tilted and brushed a kiss to the burning shell of his ear. His whole frame shuddered, then he whirled around. In the dim glow of the screen his dark eyes blazed with something primal, possession, hunger. Every last shred of restraint incinerated. The next second he cupped the back of my head and crushed his mouth to mine. No more hesitance, no shy pecks. This was invasion, claiming weeks of yearning detonating all at once, trying to swallow me whole. His thoughts roared in my skull, fuck it. No more holding back. I've waited long enough. Today, nobody's leaving this seat. Serena, you're mine. Even death won't pry you away. I shut my eyes and surrendered to the onslaught. Between breaths I caught the clearest confession of all. I'm done for, lost completely. And happy to drown in her. Thanks for listening to today's story. How would you rate it from 1 to 10? If you enjoyed, please double tap and share with friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more great stories. See you next time.